as well. I'm going to jump on and make sure that I can see all of you and that you can see all of me, and then we'll get started. We've got a lot of fun stuff to do today, and I hope you're ready. Let's see. I think I can. I'm waiting for my Facebook feed. There we go. And let's make sure that and I see us up on YouTube. There we are. Great, I can see all of you guys. Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna make sure that everybody can jump on and see us there. Great, I can see everybody doing their thing. We are out in our studio space, the studio part of our building here at beadshop.com, because today, and you're going to see when we move the camera, today we've got a ton of stuff to look at. I thought that it would be really fun to show how we actually do our mixes here, our monthly mixes. You can see we've just, you know what, the one thing that we didn't grab, Brandon, that I'm going to have you grab is the kaleidoscope mix that Allie made for the month. You know that we're kind of known for our monthly mixes. We started our monthly mixes back in 2017. I think it was 2017. Thanks, Bran. And if any of you watched that broadcast, I'm sure many of you did, just a few weeks ago when Allie was here back in February, we did a whole broadcast on Allie's year-long journey into making wrap bracelets with our monthly mixes. So it has all accumulated with Allie's visit. She did the monthly mix this month for April 2019, and it's called Kaleidoscope. She was inspired by a photo that one of our design team members, Faye, posted up on the Bead Table blog, or the Bead Table group in our Facebook group. And so if you haven't grabbed our Kaleidoscope monthly mix, which many of you have already, it just went live yesterday and we're already over halfway sold out. You guys loved them. On the Bead Table, if you're a member of the Bead Table, you can search on there. Allie posted her foray into the monthly mix with the beautiful wrap bracelet that I'm going to be chatting about on Free Tip Friday coming up, along with another great Allie piece. And our wonderful design team member, Danielle Wicks, she posted, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm just going to have to talk about it for a second because it was so amazing. She took that monthly mix. I had sent the design team members, who I'll talk about the design team in just a second, the monthly mix and a few other goodies, and they've already been creating. And Danielle created a suite of jewelry. It's just fantastic. Different ideas, and she went in the post and listed everything, which was great. For those of you who aren't a member of the Bead Table, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get over to our Facebook page, the Bead Table, sign up. You have to answer 3 questions to kind of filter out spammers, and you'll be able to see all the amazing stuff that goes on over there, as well as Danielle's wonderful suite of jewelry we're going to do a blog post on. So you'll see all of that up on the blog as well. For those of you who don't do Facebook, we totally understand. So we'll share it over there. So that's what's going there. We had a big announcement this week, and I know a lot of you guys have seen this and have saw it in the Bead Table as well as on the homepage of our website. We have started a new inaugural team here at Bead Shop, and here at Bead Shop we are nothing if not a team. No woman is an island, no cat is an island, no shipping guy / husband is an island here either. You know, and so I thought, you know, why not use some of the designers that we've come to think of as friends, our customers, who we all think of you as friends. But I thought, I've always wanted to have a design team, someone else, a group of someone else's whose design eye is well honed, but maybe it's different from mine. Maybe it's different from Janice's. Maybe it's different from some of the other designers, Emily or Brittany or whoever you see up on our YouTube videos and in our projects on Bead Shop. So I thought, well, I'm going to put it out there. And Allie Morey, bless her heart, when she was here, we talked about it a little bit. And I said, you know, I have this idea. And she goes, I'll take that idea and make it happen for you. And after crying a little bit, crying real tears, it's come to fruition. So our inaugural beadshop.com design team is comprised of Allie, who's heading it up, wonderful Danielle Wicks, wonderful Faye Luxembourg-Hyam, and wonderful Kim Golias. All 4 of those wonderful ladies are going to, over the next few months, add their design eye to projects and projects, I guess, samples, things like that, that we put out here at beadshop.com. So I know I'm inspired already, and Janice, she was so funny. You know, she went over to the bead table and looked at, I texted, it's in my phone. I texted Janice last night. It was like midnight her time. And I thought, hopefully she has her phone put away. But I was so stoked with what Danielle posted. I was so inspired. And you'll see, and we'll put it in the episode notes as well. But she did a piece with some new pearls that are going to be launching and with this mix and stuff. And, you know, this mix, while I adore it, I love these hot colors. They're great. You know, what do I wear all the time? I wear blue. Blue is my gig, right? Montana blue, all the blues. And so she did these pieces where the colors just popped. And Janice wrote underneath, she said, I am so inspired to work with these hot colors. So if you guys can get us working outside our color range, oh my gosh, it's going to be incredible. So so not only do we hope that it's inspiring for you guys out in our social media world, it's inspiring for us as well here at Bead Shop. So thank you to our wonderful inaugural I like to call them the beta testers of the beadshop.com design team. We really, really, really appreciate you, and of course Allie for heading it up. If you check our blog every week or every Thursday this month, there is a blog post that's going to launch tomorrow that introduces more of the team, as well as introductory posts all the way through the month. So you'll get a kind of a deep dive into who each of these wonderful dear ladies are. So that's what's going on there. So thank you so much. We've got Janice, our wonderful founder, over on YouTube, moderating on YouTube. We've got our wonderful Gita across the miles in Denmark. I hope that your family visit, Gita, was fantastic. And thank you for that sweet email. I don't even know if I replied to you, but I'm so glad you got everything. You know, sometimes I'm bleary-eyed. When you get an email from me, I'm emailing you at like 5:30 in the morning sometimes, so I can't always remember. So, but I'm really stoked that you got all your stuff and you had a great time with your fam. So, so that's it. So let's get down to business, right? You are here to see how we mix, and so let's get to mixing. Brandon's behind the camera. She is working that camera with her camera expertise. So she's going to swing this over. I'm going to swing this around, and we will get going over here. Whoops. Let me get that button, that back in. Let me make sure that I'm plugging this in right. Hang on just a second. There we go. We've got this. I've got this. Let me see. Move these cords a little bit more. Someday it will be completely wireless, right? You tell me, Brandon, if I'm just push that up a little bit. Push that all the way up. There we go.
Let me get some height on it because you won't be able to see.
Let me turn this. There we go. All right, we're getting there. Okay. There's my dear mama. Say hi to my mom. It feels like the only time I ever talk to my mom is here on Facebook, but on Facebook Live. Yeah. Which way, Brian?
Just towards. Just turn that
this way towards me.
Get that just a little
there
bit.
There we go.
A little bit more of the table showing down.
Okay.
Oops.
Thanks about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad, Gita. I'm sorry. I kept thinking in my mind, oh, I hope I emailed Gita, but I'm glad you guys had a good time. Good. And everyone had a good, fun visit. All right, so this is good. Let's actually, Bran, I'm going to move this up just a little bit higher.
That's what I think.
Because I want like a big,
and I can zoom in.
okay, perfect. Peru. Let me get my computer, my lists. There we go. Okay, so you guys, we're out here in the big room, like I said, the big bead room here, the studio part of beadshop.com. And I've got a lot of beads. I'm actually going to tilt and kind of pan this over so you guys can see what we've got over there. I've got a whole bunch of seed beads that we're going to be working with over there. And then I've even got a scale. I'm going to talk to you about that. And I've got all these little mixing dishes and stuff right over here. Okay. So those are all things that we use when we get going. Good, and I think I'm back, and I'm back. But the first thing that I think you want to think about, or at least that we think about when we make a mix, and you know, it's funny, when we make a mix here at Bead Shop, we start kind of gathering around the table a little bit, or we toss out you know, for filling a seed bead order or whatever. Cara is especially good at this. She'll see like a tube and she'll go, oh, I like this tube. And then she tosses it in a little bowl or whatever. And then someone else will toss another one in a little bowl. So sometimes we do these all by, I don't know, by group, I think. But a lot of times the way that I like to start with these is I like to start with a photo, okay? And you guys over at the Bead Table, our Bead Shop Facebook group, are so good at throwing down some photo inspiration. So I went in this morning and I started printing out some pictures, right? And those of you who have been really good at just kind of posting them, Faye did this one here, okay? This one I have from Charmaine. This one I have from Brenda. And this one I have from Danielle P, okay? And so I'm going to write it down here so I don't forget. And so I thought all of these were really beautiful, really great ones to work on. And I know a lot of you kind of save a file on your desktop and stuff for photo inspiration like this. The thing that I wanted to show, I loved this photo that Danielle posted in the group. And what she used, my guess is, though I don't know specifically, what she used was one of those photo, you can find them online. If you Google like color picker, P-I-C-K-E-R, color picker, you will be able to find a lot of really great online resources when you throw a photo in, like a URL link from online, and then it gives you the color palette down here, usually with a hex number, usually with some kind of reference number so you could recreate it if you were doing a website or something, whatever. All right, so that's that. What she also did, which I thought was terrific, was she posted the piece that she made with it. And this was a piece that she did from last week's, inspired by last week's broadcast. You can see she did the herringbone, the dreaded herringbone there, and the shadows. Maybe I love this so much because it has my favorite bead in the whole world. And she did some tile beads, checkmates tiles, and it looks like some bugles here. And so you can see it's a perfect inspiration of here, this beautiful kind of, I want to call this Blue Ridge Mountains or Smoky Mountains, or I don't know, something. I don't know. I love it here. This is all in my color wheelhouse right here, especially these colors right here. And it's a perfect inspiration for this guy here. So I loved it. So Danielle, thank you so much for posting it, and thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so I have this other one, this also one from Faye, and I said like this one from Brenda and this one from Charmaine. I want to pull this kind of busy one from Charmaine because sometimes I find that there's too much color inspiration, okay? So I have a little template that I made out of here, out of some cardstock. And you can see I just folded it up like this, and I got my scissors. Can you hand me those scissors over there, Bryn? I just got my scissors, thank you, and I just cut it out in like a little grid, right? I just folded it and cut it, and then cut those 3 out. I didn't even draw any lines, I just kind of eyeballed it. Then I folded this one here, right, and cut these out, and did the same over here, folded it, and cut this out. So I had like a 9-up grid, okay? Then, for a picture that's like so blooming with color, like this, right? You can use this little grid to help you kind of isolate one of the little spaces to work with so that you're not overrun with all the color. So like if I really liked this portion here, right, I could isolate that piece from that center, okay, and use that little square as my inspiration. Or maybe I really loved like this up here, this portion really, really spoke to me. We could do the same thing like with Danielle's photo that she's got here. We could take a deep dive into like just here, right? We could start to maybe do a tonal thing as we move it down, like this. We could isolate just these really interesting oranges and greens, which is kind of cool, right? Even this fish picture, the fishy, as my grand would say, the little fishy picture, you could come in, and you can make these squares any size, right? You could even make them smaller, but you could come in, even this kind of weird muted background, not weird, but you know what I mean, kind of abstract muted background, I guess, like this. See here, you can kind of take those tones out of just this color wash. We could do the same thing over here with these blues, right? Like there's a lot of blue, shades of blue going on in just this square, okay? So this, as I say, it's a great way, and you could make them, these are just the little insides that I'd cut out. You could even use those to kind of really hone in on a portion of the photo that you really want to work with, like that, okay? So it was great. So you can use this kind of like a little, you know, I don't know, like little frames around. And then this one, Faye posted this one that I really liked. This blue, kind of this blue-green, is kind of a cool colorway. And you can see when we block it out, we can really see the differing colors. Like look at this block right here, right? Versus, I don't know, like this block over here. It's almost like the tones, the colors are two different things, from two different photos. So I think this really will help, you kind of hone in. Yeah, and I printed these out just on our printer. You know, they're not maybe as vibrant as they are on the computer screen, but if you're going to use one, you can really print it out. You can maybe even reduce the size a little bit so it's really as vibrant as you can get it. Or just palette with it up on your tablet, you know, take a screenshot of it and use it on your tablet. Okay, so let's choose, well first, so I'm not going to choose colors yet. I'm jumping the gun here for a second. So this is one of the tools that I use, all right, to get my color inspo, to kind of hone in. This is another tool that I use, and I want to show you how I make that. I'm going to move all this over. And so I've got our gram scale, And we're only selling beads with this gram scale. Don't everyone get funny about us having a gram scale. All right, I've got a bowl here, and I've got, I'm going to turn on our little scale. I'm going to make it go to grams just because that's what we're used to using with the beads, and I'm going to zero it out. So now I'm going to choose, I don't know, I kind of in my head know what I am going to work with, so maybe I do. I just need to grab a bead, any bead. I want, Brandon, would you hand me the 11-aughts? Yes, perfect. I'm going to work with, oh, and you know what? There is a printout on the printer that I also need. Please and thank you. So I'm going to use our 11-412. It's the opaque turquoise green. It didn't, oh, there they are. The opaque turquoise green. I'm going to start, this is, I'm going to dump this whole tube and I'm going to see how much are in here. So this is about 10 grams, 10-gram tube. We usually do 10-gram tubes of 11-aughts because they're so small. So I'm going to dump all these back in. See how I have a funnel that fits right into our tubes? This funnel is a lifesaver. So now, just for mixing, I'm going to put in, because I also want to think about proportion, okay? So I'm going to put in, I don't know, maybe about, I'm going to see what, this is like 3.5 grams about. It's a little bit over. Let me take a pinch of that away. There we go. I'm going to call that 3.5 grams. Okay. And so with the 11-aughts, I'm going to pour these into just a loose tube. Oh, one went away. And I'm going to draw a little line. I know I have a Sharpie marker here somewhere. Thanks, Brandon. And I'm going to draw my little line here, maybe a little lower, like this. And I know that is 3.5. See how I'm writing it there? And on the other side, this is going to be my 11-aught. Now I bet you have some tubes lying around, right? If you love seed beads, you probably used your seed beads. You probably, you know, have them laying around. So here's 3.5 grams of 11-aughts. So maybe I'll mark my next one. I'm going to dump that back out. I'm going to dump out 5 grams. Okay. That's like 5.5 grams. Let's see. That's close. You never know how, until you weigh these beads, how much one seed bead weighs, right? There we go. That's going to be close enough. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to pour these back in. And, whoops, I lost one. Come back here. There we go. And I'm going to use my Sharpie marker again. Or as they tell us when we do TV, you're only supposed to call it a permanent marker. There's not, you're not supposed to use a brand name, but I'm going to call it a Sharpie, but you know what I mean. This is 5 grams right here. And that's my 3.5 grams. Okay. So now I'll make myself a little measurer. I'll dump this back in. I'll put these beads, I'll dump them home, right? Dump them back in there. A funnel that fits right here in your seed bead tube, worth its weight in gold. Okay. So now I know that this is my 11-aught tube and it measures 3.5 grams and 5 grams. And I'm gonna just cut it off. So I've got my little measurer, okay? So if I have a big bunch of beads, like if I just dump, now if I know I want about 3.5 grams for my mix, I'll just dump it here, right? And I can just use this and I can go, yeah, that's about 3.5 grams right there. There's my little measurer. Okay, so it's easy for me to make a mix, okay, with that. I'm going to also make a little measurer, so you can do this for your 8/0 or your 11/0 or your 6/0 rather. 11/0, they're tiny. These beads are small, right? So let me go over to, I'm going to grab a tube from our 6/0. Let me measure those out. Let me make sure that that's zeroed out. And let me see what this is. I'm going to go all the way to like 5 grams. Gosh, those 2 beads. 5 grams of 6/0 seed beads doesn't feel like a lot, right? There we go. Oh, I'm going to put that, there we go. I'm going to call that 5 grams. Okay. So let's go ahead, get my trusty funnel, put those guys in, and I'm going to make my mark. Okay. A lot of times when I do mixes, I think, oh, you know, I'm going to put like a thimbleful, you know, that's what we sometimes think of. So that's kind of what led me to kind of do these little seed bead tubes. So that's 5 grams, and this is a 6/0. Okay. Now I'll cut it, and I've got my little 6/0 measurer right here. Okay, so I've got my 11/0, a 5 grammer, and I've got a 6/0. Let me do real quick an 8/0 so we can see. Okay, and you're gonna see how, whoops, don't pull the funnel out until all the beads have run into the tube. And this measuring will all make sense to you in just a moment. So let me get one more. I'm going to get an 8/0 here. I think I'm going to go with this guy.
One little tiny tip that I found.
Sure.
Is the metal funnels actually have less stickiness.
Oh.
So you don't usually have that problem. I don't know if it's static electricity builds up or what. But we all fight over the metal ones.
Let's see. There we go. So that's 5 grams right there of 8/0. I'm going to put them in, and we'll see what our 5 grams looks like too. Okay. Now this is really, we really do try, we get kind of technical when we do this, right? When we do our mixing, because number one, we want to make sure that we're not, you know, we're getting the price right on these guys. But we also, when we mix, we try and mix them, especially if we're looking at a photo, we try and mix them proportionally so that it reflects the photo. Okay, so, and I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to cut this away. And so here's my little 5 grammer with the 8/0. Okay, so that's this. And let me put this back in. And let's get back to the photo. Put those guys. Alrighty. So we also have, I'm actually going to dump these guys. This one that I'm working with, this is an 8/0. This is 8-242. It's the sparkle pewter lined crystal. We can't go wrong with that. So let me put some of those in a dish right there. Okay. And because in my brain, I already know which photo I'm going to use. So here's my little things. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to get rid of all these tubes for the moment. And I'm gonna get my 6/0. Let me get the scale out of there because we don't need it anymore. I'm gonna get the 6/0. This is the dyed salmon silver lined alabaster. It's 6-642. Can you guys guess which photo I'm gonna use? I don't know if you can. Right? And here's the 11-412, the opaque turquoise green. Okay. Now let me bring the photo in that I've been thinking about. This photo just kind of stopped me in my tracks when I was looking at it. I want to save these over here for the moment. So I have Faye's photo here, this rainy cherry blossoms here, which is cooler, dewdrop cherry blossoms that are right here. Okay. And so I'm going to move my my little windows around until I find a spot that I kind of want to work with. And I think it's that spot right here. This is my, so I'm going to make a little, maybe I'll even outline it here. Use this as a template in case I lose my place. And it's this one that I'm working with. Okay. So I'm going to call it, what should we call this? I'm going to call this what should I call it? Somebody give me something. I had something in my head and it's kind of gone. Maybe a dewdrop. I like the name Dewdrop. I don't know why that's resonating with me. Dewdrop Cherry Blossom. That's what I'm going to call it for now. Our names also change a little bit as we work, but I like naming it right away. Okay, my buddy Winnie, who used to work for us here at Bead Shop when we were a brick and mortar, Winnie was actually the woman who hired me. Winnie, way back in the day, one of Winnie's dream jobs was to be the person who named lipsticks, and I always kept that at my in my wheelhouse. I thought that would be the best job, lipstick namer. So I started very early on naming my pieces. We're a big oh, Tokyo Cherry Blossom. Janice, I love that even better, right? So I just start writing things down. So I'm going to add that one here too. I like Tokyo. Cherry Blossom. And I also like, there was another one here, Petal Pretty. I like that one too. I'm going to put that here. Those are all good names. And they all have like different connotations, right? Maybe Dewdrop Cherry Blossom might be a little more dreamy or a little bit more ethereal, right? Tokyo Cherry Blossom, things might be a little busier. I don't know, the bustling city of Tokyo. Petal Pretty sounds like it's maybe a little, I don't know, a little softer, but not quite as soft as Dewdrop. I don't know. So all of these things. Sakura, right? Sakura is Japanese for cherry, which I also like. Sakura, I like that name too. All of those are great names. Okay. So now, once we have kind of looked at the balance, so this is where, and I know you guys are, what are the sizes? How do we do size? How do we do, what do we do? How do we do that? Okay, this is how I do it. Okay, so we think about the proportion in the photo, and I am actually going to cover these so that we're not as distracted by our other portions of this picture. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. We blocked out a little bit. Yeah, they could be. My Ma, do you know what flowers these are? I'm going to say that these are, they kind of look like cherry blossoms to me, but they could be anything. My mom, the botanist, will know. Maybe she'll know and tell me what they are. So we're going to focus right here on like this photo. And so, yes, Vikinta, you said we need yellow. We definitely need yellow because see over here in this spot, we have some great yellow. I chose, so I need to start kind of thinking about how to share this with you. The blue, I'm going to call this blue, but it's not really blue. It's kind of more of a teal, right? The teal portion of this photo, right, is small. So that's why I chose small beads. And we're going to use a small amount. They're primroses. Are they primroses? I'm going to say, I don't know. Alberta roses. Well, I'm calling them cherry blossoms. I don't know. That's what I'm going to call it. But I love primroses too. I'm going to get our 11-aught and I'm going to give myself about 3.5 grams of this. And that goes to about my 3.5. It's a little less, so maybe it's about 3 grams here. And I'm going to use my mixing bowl, okay? And when we make mixes, you guys, we mix them in small batches because if the mix doesn't work out, we actually usually pull them apart. And Brandon's nodding. She goes, I know about pulling these suckers apart, right? So I'm going to put a small amount there. So I'm going to put this aside. And then let's figure out a yellow for this. The yellow proportion maybe is somewhere between all of this pink, but it's got to be more than that blue, right? So I'm going to, I think maybe I'll get an 8-aught. And let me pull some yellows. Brandon is so nicely, look at all these boxes are in such nice, pardon me, nice color order. Looks great. So let me get some of those. These are the 3 that we pulled. Now let's really look, I don't know, Brand, if you can get down kind of tight here, but you can see in this yellow, there's actually a bunch of yellows here, okay? There is kind of this golden, there's kind of this sunshine, and then it kind of radiates out to a light yellow. So I like this, some of this. This is, it's the matte transparent light topaz AB. And this photo, it's a little hard to see on the screen, but it also has a little bit of iridescence to it because of the dewdrops that are on the petals, right? So the iridescence, this AB coating on here kind of reminds me of that. So I'm going to drop some in. I'm going to do a bowl of that. Okay, I'm going to drop some in. Here are the 8-aughts. Okay, let's get another yellow. This yellow really matches, I think, the interior portion of that flower. So I'm going to pull this in. Okay, we're going to do that. I was really committed to this blue. I knew I wanted that blue. I haven't committed to any of these other colors yet. Okay, so I'm going to keep my blue there. I'm not going to add anything yet. Let's get some pink. I pulled this salmon color. I don't know, salmon, if this is right. So my mom and I, when we do this with fabric, we call it auditioning the fabric. What I call it with beads is auditioning the beads, right? So pink, the pink tones are what are taking up most of the photo, right? I'm so out of my color wheelhouse right now, you guys, you have no idea, right? When does Kate ever work with pink? So I'm going to pull some 6-aughts. I'm going to pull this dyed pale pink silver lined AB. This is 6-555, okay? This one below it is 6-215. And this is 6-592. Okay, so this is the Ivory Pearl Ceylon, Blush Lined Crystal, and dyed pale pink silver lined alabaster. I like those. Now, I don't want all of this pink to be in a 6/0, so let me pull some 8/0s that have this color. I like this color. I like this. I like this. I like these. So I'm going to put my yellow over there. Let's look at these. Here's some 8/0s. Okay, let me open up this photo a little bit. I just pulled, and I'm not, don't think about it too much, okay? Just don't stress. These are only beads, you guys, and you can undo them and put them back in the tubes. It's okay. So give yourself permission. It's all right. So if I look at this fuchsia, this is Dusty Rose. It is 8-4238. I don't know, might be a little bright for what's in this photo. Okay, so I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take it out. Out. This one that I've grabbed, I love this color, right? Because it has some brown to it. God forbid I try and use a real pink color. This is 8-641. It's dyed rose bronze. Of course, it has bronze in the name. Of course, I love it. I love it, but it's not in our palette, right? So it goes. Ginger's saying 86 the coral. I agree too. This coral isn't working, so I'm gonna get the tube of the coral. That's not it. This is the tube, the salmon silver lined. I'm gonna just put this away before it goes. Brand, do we have, let's grab a gold, grab me a few seed beads in the gold tones, like in the 8/0, I've got all of the list right here. In the 8/0, I want, I don't know, maybe we don't have the metallics on here. Get me like the metallic, do we have this one, the dark beige Ceylon 8-? I do have it here. I've got that one. Yeah. So get me something in gold, a gold, like a metal gold. All right. And then get me a metal, silver. And 8/0? And 8/0. Get me the gilding matte 8/0 and then the silver. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. My mom said, I thought you just poured a bunch of tubes into a mason jar and shook it up. Yes, that's exactly what we did. No, we actually, this is our, and would you also get me the shiny and matte versions of these two? I want to look at the difference. Okay. That's so funny. Let's put these away. So no more. Goodbye, coral. Right. And I don't know about you, but when I am storing my beads, I like to store everything by color, right? Especially seed beads, and kind of putting them out in this rainbow order like we did in these boxes, right? Brandon also prepped this blue one for me, right? So I'd have all the beads in a rainbow order. So it was really easy for me to kind of let my fingers walk along. That's fine, perfect. I'll throw them right there. To kind of walk along and see what I was going to use. Okay, so that coral is out of the game. Goodbye, coral. So I want to use now a mix of some like big ones and some like small ones here, right? So I really like this bead. To me, really captures this essence. Like if I hold it right over here by this petal, I think it's good. This is the dyed pale pink silver lined alabaster. It's 6-555. I'm going to dump it in this bowl. Okay. And then I'm going to, I love this color, and I can see, I know it's a little bit hard for you guys to see the nuance in this photo, but this is the Blush Line Crystal. This is 6-215. This color is right in there on that petal, so I'm going to dump it into the bowl. Into the bowl it goes. Now I've got some 6/0s. I've got some 8/0s over there. Both of my 6/0s are size are pink. My pink ones are size 6. So I want to do an 8/0. I think, to my eye, this is the 155F here, this opaque transparent. I think it's a little, it might be a little tan for me, maybe. I'm not sure. I think for this photo, though I love this one, for this photo, this T Rose AB, the 8-155FR, okay, that T Rose. So I'm going to put that one in, okay. And it's also, Janice is saying, it's also a great way to select colors for your project without making them into a mix. That's right, right? It's a good way to do it. So here's that pink, okay? And I don't know how true the colors are on your screen. This blush looks a little tan, but it looks kind of blush to me here. So I'm gonna kind of put those around. It looks more pink on here. But maybe it's throwing it off. I don't know. Maybe it's not the right one. I also have some more 11/0s. So I'm going to put this one aside because this is the one that's kind of giving me a little bit of pause. And especially if I kind of look at this whole thing with it, I'm like, maybe. And maybe proportion-wise, I need to use a little less. So let's also bring in some more 11/0s because I don't want this teal color to be the only 11/0 on the block, all right? If I hold this one, this is the 11-2023, it's not quite right. Again, it's just not, I don't know. I don't even know what's not quite right about it, but it's just not quite right, okay? So I'm going to come in and I'm going to go with this. This is the 2022. Where's the 11/0 list, Brandon? I think it's underneath there. The 2022 is the, I'm going to tell you here in just a second. The 2022 is Matte Opaque Antique Beige. And that to me, again, because it's matte, I've got some shiny in here. I need a little bit of matte. Okay. So I'm going to throw this down. Okay. I'm going to put that in there. And so in this photo, I know this yellow is super bright. In this photo, it doesn't read as well, but that is like the exact yellow that I've got in here. So this is where, you guys, proportion starts to come in. And I've added this one. So let me actually, I'm going to take this guy out for the moment. So this, I'm going to put these back in here. So this is my color circle, okay, for what I've got here. And, you know, you would do you. You would tweak whatever you wanted, but to my design eye that I see, and if I'm limiting myself to like, usually I try and limit myself to under 8 seed beads, okay. I'm gonna start with this. Janice wants more pink. 11-272, do we have that out?
272.
11-272. 11-272
Is not out.
is not out. Let's grab it. Let's do Janice a solid. We want one more pink. 11 dash, what is this? 11 dash. I'm going to put it in a bowl. Tess is like, yeah, put more pink in there, kids. Too much yellow and gold. There's another one. Do we like, yeah, that pulls,
That's actually pretty.
pulls that in there. Okay. Right? Yeah, and Katie, you're saying it really does need that teal. It does, right? It needs that teal to ground it. Maybe I will put, I don't know, I feel like that's too harsh. Well, so let's start, this is 8. I like this, I like it's a nice even number. All right, I've got the pink over here. This is a blush. I know it really looks tan on there, but it's pretty pink. So I'm gonna start mixing some proportion, okay? So just go with me on this, all right? So here's some of the teal, okay? And that teal is that number, now I've like thrown them all over the place. That's the 11-412. So this is when I have a little list that's right here. So we've named this, I've got my little list here. So my seed bead mix name is, I'm gonna write it in here. I'm gonna call this, what did we say? I need to choose one. Dewdrop, Petal Pretty, I don't know. Janice had one there. I'm just going to put my notes here. So I'm going to put, though I know these aren't cherry blossoms, I like Sakura. I like Petal Pretty. I like Tokyo Cherry Blossom. Okay, just so I remember. Okay. And I'm going to start just listing my seed beads, right? Dewdrop Sakura, I like that too. Thanks, Michelle. I like that too. It's the 11, it's an 11 dash, it's 11-aught. And I don't know the amount yet, but I'm going to write the color name. This is opaque. Turquoise green, and the color number is 11-412. Okay, and this guy here, this is a 6-aught. Let me do the 11-aughts first. Let me do this in order. That's the 11-aught. And that 11-aught is, I tossed it over here, it's the 11-aught. And it is the matte, what was that? Matte beige, matte opaque antique beige. And that is 11-272. You guys know I'm really doing this on the fly, right? So bear with me here. I have the other 11-aught, which is over here, and that other 11-aught was, Janice wanted it. Was it this one?
272?
2002, was that it? Oh, 272.
Yeah.
That was, okay, so 272
That was one that Janet asked for.
That Janice asked for. What was that called? 272?
I don't think it's on the list.
Oh, we
We
didn't
just
get all
pulled
the
it up.
11-aughts? You didn't get me the full list? Here it is.
Oh, there. That was the original.
272. Somebody link it. Janice, link it. Tell me what color it is in real life. Oh, because I'll keep going. So this is matte opaque antique beige is over here.
Pink line crystal.
Pink lined crystal. Got it. Pink lined crystal AB. Got it. Okay. Matte opaque antique beige. And that is 11-2022, and that's also an 11-aught. Okay. So I love how everyone's tossing these names around. I love it. Janice is saying this is the perfect yellow. What's 6? Give me a 6-2002.
6-2002.
No, it's 6 dash. Well, let me see. Now I can't find it. What did you say, Janice? I'm looking. Yeah, 202, I think.
That one is in one of the.
We have it already here.
Somewhere.
So that's the 11-aughts. Let me do the 8-aughts. Oh, I have this one. Yeah, we'll see. I like that one too. The 6-aughts. Let's do the 6s. Just real quick so I don't forget them. It was this one. This is an 8-aught, and it is 8-155FR, and that's T Rose AB. And then I've got this A dot, so that goes over there. I've got this A dot over here, which was the, that was the pewter line crystal. I've got this one here, which is the A dot, the matte transparent light topaz AB, and that's 8-132FR. Okay, that's that one. And then I need this lemony one. Which one is that? That one is, I should have kept the tubes all together. I think that's this one, 136FR.
That sounds right.
Yep, let's see, 136FR, matte transparent yellow AB. Transparent yellow AB, that's an A dot, and this is 8-136FR. Okay, that's that. So those are the 8s. Okay, I'll do my little rows. Now I've got just a couple of 6/0s right here. I've got the ever controversial blush lined crystal. Line crystal, and that is 6-215. I know that people aren't picking up what I'm putting down with that one, but just trust me. Just go with me. 6/0, and this is pale pink silver lined alabaster. Alabaster, and this is 6-555. And these will all be in the episode notes, don't you worry. And Cindy, I agree with you. And Sakura Blossom, that's what we were going to name it. Isn't that what we were? Or Dewdrop Sakura? Sakura Blossom might be everyone's favorite. I'm going to put that one up here too. Cherry Blossom Blossom. I like it. I like it. This will all be in the notes. But I agree with Cindy. She had, Cindy B, she had a good observation, and I agree. I try not to get too perfect with my colors, allowing for contrast and interest. Yes, I agree completely. That's why when we start with a photo like this, a lot of times the photo becomes our starting point, right? And as we go, we try to add in texture and contrast and color and things like that. But if I were, oh good, my mom has my back with the blush. Awesome. Perfect, Mama. She always has. Always, always. So this is what we've got so far. And this is a pretty literal interpretation of this here. And so Janice, and I think this is good, people have been out saying like pearls and this and fire polish. First, what I want to focus on is just getting these seed beads right, if we're looking at how we do a seed bead mix. Then that seed bead mix, you guys, the sky is the frickin' limit, right? You can go as far as you want with it. So let's now start looking at proportion, okay? What are the proportions of these, okay? So I have this right here. I'm going to put my little scribbles, and I'll put this up, this seed bead mix thing. I'll have Drea add it to the notes, to episode notes, but I'll also make it in PDF form, and I'll pop it up in the files for in our Facebook group as well, okay? So you guys have that, or you can make your own. I just did it, you know, just with a Word program, whatever. But okay, so this, and you guys are gonna laugh. This dish, this is our mixing dish. Okay, I know that it's funny, but we all, you know, when we make our mix, we go, "Where's the mixing dish? We're gonna mix it." Okay, so this is, I don't know, maybe we like that it's long like this, that I don't know, we just like the shape of this. So get yourself a mixing dish, make it white, okay? So you've got a good kind of neutral background. Make it large enough so you can mix in it. My mom also got us these. We use these a lot. These are from those of you who went to our first retreat will recognize these as the candy dishes, right, from the bead retreat. If you were at the bead retreat the first time and you kept your candy dish, which I think everybody did, this is the perfect bowl for mixing. I think she got them at the dollar store. Okay, so I'm going to start with, so here was my 11-aught mixer, right? So I put in a small amount of those. I also want kind of a small amount of this matte, what was this one? It was the matte opaque antique beige. So I'm going to get my little mixer, and I didn't quite fill the 11-aughts all the way up to the 3.5 grams, so I'm going to do that with this one. Okay, I'm going to add just proportionately a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to throw that in. All right, so there's these guys here. Okay. So now I'm just going to go around the wheel. All right, here's my yellow. So I'm going to get my little yellow mixer. That's my 6-aught mixer. Where's my 8-aught mixer? I made it, now I can't find it. There we go. So this is 5 grams. Okay, so I can see about half of that would be about 2.5 grams. Okay, so it's a little more than the teal, maybe a little less than the white, but I have bigger beads, so I'm going to give myself, of these yellow ones, about 2.5 grams, or about half of that, right? I'm going to dump them in. And remember, they're only beads. Doesn't matter. Does not matter in the least, right?
Do you want this written down while you're doing it?
Nope. Okay. Nah, we're just going to, oh, I don't know. Maybe. Here, Bran. What did I use?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, no, but then I'm like, yeah, yes, I do. That's for sure.
So 5 and 5?
Yeah, it was 5. No, it was 3.5 and 3.5.
Okay.
It was like 3, then 3.5, and put it right in the amount column.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah. 3.5. We did 2.5 of the next one.
2.5
of the yellow.
Okay.
Whatever this yellow guy was. We used, so now I'm going to go to this one. This one is the matte transparent topaz, light topaz AB or something. I'm going to do a little less than that there because it's just those few little sprinkles. So I'm going to throw those in. We're going to come around here and I'm going to go to the pinks. This guy with my 6-aught, this section over here, I'm going to do like 2.5 grams of that one because it's not overpowering it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to dump those in. Here it is. Here's that blush. What did I call it? It's the blush lined blush line crystal.
Blush line crystal, okay.
There's a lot of blush line crystal. I know you can't see it. I know you haven't bought into it. Just my mom. Thanks, Ma. So I'm going to add a little bit more of it. I'm going to add, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add 5 grams of it.
Ooh.
I know, I'm crazy. I'm going to do it. I'm going to dump those in. Okay? Already I can see, well, maybe I went a little overboard, but that's okay. This 8-aught over here with the pink, this makes up a big portion, and again, it's an 8-aught, so I'm going to take my little 8-aught tube. There it is, my 8-aught tube, and I'm going to put 5 grams of it in. I'm going to put a lot. It's a little bit hard to dip from this. I need a little bit of a bigger bowl, but I'll just put it in my hand. I'm going to do all 5 grams of these 8s, and I'm going to dump them in. All right, then we do this.
And this is so important. You cannot do it from tubes.
Yeah, see that? No. So see? So now I can see, and I go, okay, proportionally, that's what I did, but you know what it needs? It needs a whole lot more of this pink. So I'm going to get my 6-aught tube. It's right here, and I'm going to add another 5 grams. Now, again, like my mom said earlier, right? It's just these little tubes, right, that I did, the ones that I made earlier. These little guys, that's what I'm measuring in. Like my mom said, you know, she's all, Kate, don't you just actually put them in a mason jar and shake them up? You know what? you can do that too, right? It's okay. You can totally do it that way. But when we're making a mix, we really try and, we really try and make it look like the photo. Now, I didn't put these 11-aughts in, right? So the 11-aughts, I'm going to say, we've got our little 11-aught tube. I'm going to put in, again, about 3 grams, maybe 3.5 grams of these guys here. There we go. That did a lot for this mix, right? So now, you guys, we really do this step. I kid you not. What we do next is we clear this all away. Who knew there was so much to making a mix? We clear all this business away. We dump it in the thing. We get a tube. And we tube it to see what it looks like in the tube. Right? So we literally tube it. You know what? I should have had a longer tube, but that's okay. Do I have one empty long tube? I'll tube it in there. Because we really want to see what it looks like. Let me get it. I'm going to put it in this longer tube because I made a lot of mix.
You had to get the proportions right.
Right? I know. There we go. Okay. So then, and we look at it. And then I hold it to the photo. And I see that, yes, we do. We do need a darker pink, right? We need a little, it is Elizabeth Arden's pink. It's really true. Yeah, I do love Elizabeth Arden Red Door. It is so true. I love it. So we go back to we don't go completely back to the drawing board. All we do is, whoops, yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be good too. Let's see. I'm going to put all of this back in. I untube it.
It's very Easter.
I throw it. It is. It's very. This is so. I mean, this is like the only time you're ever going to see me work with these colors. Maybe not. That's not true. I'm a little. So we threw in. We have this matte transparent red AB that's right there. And do we have this in an 8-aught or a 6?
What?
It's 11-4238. Then we need to think about like proportion, right? So let's see.
We have it in all.
Do we? Okay. Let's look at these two. Okay. So this is where bead size and proportion really come in. Oh, Cindy said also 4468 in any color. Brandon's getting her steps in, which I know she doesn't mind. Let me see. Right? This is when Cara, I know if Cara's watching, Cara's like, oh my God, let me get in there and fix that mix. So what I'm going to do is with this, sometimes, whoops. That's okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, Cara was so helpful when I was making my mix.
Yeah.
Like, what does it need?
Yeah,
she's like,
she's
oh,
really
this is
good.
what it needs.
So then, if I don't know which way to go, I split up what we have. Oh, yeah, this color is so in my wheelhouse right here. I think it's a little dark, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I love this one though, Cindy. This is the Duracoat. Is this Duracoat Pansy? Is that what this is? I think it is 11-4466. I think so. Cara knows also all of these by heart. Oh my God, my table is just a mess. I think I had all the lists of the 11-aughts here and now I've lost them completely. I think it's Duracoat Pansy. I think that's what this is. I love it. So we need to make this, so there's a camp that's down for this, because I want to add a 6 or an 8-aught to this. I think it needs a bigger bead. So this is the matte transparent red AB. This is 6-141FR. And this one over here is the Paris Pink. It's the Silverline dyed Paris Pink. It is 6-4238. Okay, yeah, it was Duracoat Opaque Pansy. Thanks, Gita. You always have my back on those. So I'm going to mix. I want this, so this is, again, where proportion comes in. If I'm trying to capture maybe this portion of the photo, I want, and I kind of want a big bead, but I already have 2 6-aughts in here. So I think I'm actually going to settle in the middle. I'm not going to go to an 11. I'm not going to go to 6. I'm going to go to an 8-aught. And let's just see how it looks. It might all end in tears, but we're going to do it. And who cares? You know, I'm going to see. I know you guys are totally split down the center. Some of you like the dark, some of you like the light. So we're going to do one of each, and we're going to see how it looks. Where's my 8-aught mixer? It's right here. I'm going to add 2.5 grams here. Look at that.
I like that.
Bam. I love it. Let's add 2.5 grams of this one. Okay. And I agree, it needs a little contrast, right? You guys all saw that. It's very light, it's very ethereal, it's, Brendan said it's very Easter, all of that, but I feel like it needs a little grounding. Here's 2.5 grams of the Paris Pink, the silver lined. No, this is, I'm sorry, Dusty Rose. It's the Dusty Rose. The Paris Pink was, this is 4238. Oh, they named it 2 different things. In 6-aught, it's called Paris Pink, and 8-aught, it's called Dusty Rose. Isn't that funny?
It happens every once in a while.
Yeah. Let's do that. Bam. Look at that. I love that too.
That's still very Easter.
Still. So now I'm going to tube them both. Okay. Tubing, you guys, is because that's how we sell it, right? So it has to look really just primo in the tube. There we go. I'm going to put the lid on it. I'll pour that back in there. And then let's tube the other one. Okay, let's pour this in. Just like that. Looks like I mix these pretty evenly, which is kind of crazy. My mixology. There we go. I just got those all over the place, but who cares? Let's do this. Okay, and we'll put the lid on. So now we can see, look at just the difference. Can you guys see that on my kind of dirt? Oh, my hands are so dirty here because I've been mixing beads. You can see that it really is different. I don't know how tight, Brandon, you can get on these if you're pretty tight already. I know that the color, it's a little hard to see with the shiny tubes, but they give it such a different, maybe if I get a little closer up too, it gives it such a different air. If I were going to choose this for a bead shop mix, I think I would go with this guy. I think is my favorite. This one.
It's more contrasty.
It's more contrasty, which I like. I like that one a little bit better. Okay. So, so that's it. So the darker one I've put over here to my left hand. The lighter one is over here to my right hand. So, and you can see they both really capture the essence of this. So if we were calling this, so this also might have something to do with the name too, right? To me, Tokyo Cherry Blossom, Tokyo, busy, I don't know, stylish, fashion forward, all of that stuff. This might be Tokyo Cherry Blossom. To me, this one over here might be Dewdrop Cherry Blossom, or, you know, I don't know, so have a, you know, a softer mix to it. I'm going to dump these back out and do one more thing for you, because I want to show you the difference of metal. Bren, can you give me a couple more white dishes? I don't want to have to put these away quite yet. I need 4, please. Please and please. I want to show you what metal does. Okay? We've been calling for metal. So I just got some 8/0s. Okay? And we got 8/0s, and these are our metal seed beads, but you could do anything. And I also pulled in these guys too. These were that silver lined, oh, I had the tube here a second ago. It was the, nope, that's the matte light transparent topaz. This was the pewter lined crystal, this guy there, that 8/0. So let's divide these one more time, okay? I'm going to take this tube. This is the Tokyo Cherry Blossom. I'm going to divide it up into here, this side, and in this dish here. Yeah, I'm digging this a lot. And I've got a little bit more here. Okay. Let's mix this one. I don't know, should silver, maybe silver will go with that lighter one, and gold should go with this one, okay? I'm going to put in a touch of the dark and a touch of the light, okay? Here is, since I've been measuring, let me keep measuring. Here's the 8/0. I'm going to put again, I don't know, Bran, maybe 2 grams of this, not a ton. And this is the gilding matte in 8/0.
How much did you say?
About 2 grams.
2 grams. Okay.
Should be maybe a little less. Might have been a little bit heavy, but it's all right. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to put the shiny. This is the 24 karat, the gold plate 8/0, which I love. Let's put this shiny. I'm going to do about the same amount. That's a little too much. That looks about right. Look at the difference. Same beads, kids. Matte and shiny. Same beads. I know, I love this crystal pewter lined. Or the crystal pewter lined. That's what that is. I love them. Love them. Love. Now let's do the same with, what did we call this one? If this one, let's call this one,
You said dewdrop earlier. But
Dewdrop, is that what we're calling it? Dewdrop Cherry Blossom. We'll just have one word different. We'll put them in the square. This one's a little lighter. Let me mix those up. I also love this, right? Right, the gold really does pick up the yellow. Let me put the silver in there. Let me get the rest of these that didn't fit in the tube in there. Okay. And let's put a shiny silver, same amount, right? About 2 grams. There it is. And let's do the matte. There we go. And Michelle is saying she thinks there needs to be more teal since the other colors have been added. All right. I didn't put much of that in there, huh? So let me get my 11 measurer, which is here. All right, Michelle, I'll listen to you. I'm going to add an equal amount of teal into each of them. Maybe about a gram. Maybe about half a gram. There we go. Then what do? We tube them. We always tube them. So we can see what they look like. We always tube. Look at this. This is where I can't believe where we started and where we're ending up. I love it. Let me get this tube. This one. Remember, they're just 2 beads different in these mixes. Just 2 beads difference. There's either a lighter or a darker, that pink, and a shiny or a matte in the middle. Either gold or silver. Crazy, right? There we go. Okay, I'm going to get a white sheet of paper. Fran, would you hand me a white sheet? So let's kind of calm our chaos here. I have those over there. Shiny, shiny, gold, gold. So I don't know, Fran, if you can get in on there. But look at how different just the addition of those few little changes make. And that's it. That's how we make a mix. You didn't think we could spend this much time on making a mix, huh? I know. It's crazy. I love it. So in episode notes, we will have all of these out for, we've taken meticulous notes. So, and we'll have really good photos. We'll send these over to Karen so she can photograph them. And she will, oh, the gold. Well, we have something shiny, don't we?
We don't.
Oh.
She said to gilding matte.
Oh,
that's
gilding
the
matte.
one we used in the other one.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we have it in some. We have something shiny though. We have a Duracoat.
We have 11-aught, and we have some. Yeah, we have some of these.
We have a Duracoat, I think.
Kind of.
Yeah, not quite right. Well, I'll make a substitution. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. Okay. So there we go. There it is. I know it's really. You know, mixing these beads, it's not just, as my mama says, dump them in a mason jar and see what comes out. So that's it. That's how we do it. So, I think we're going to move the camera so you guys can see this epic mess that we've made, because it's almost lunchtime. Go ahead and move that camera, Bran, and I'll get the...
I will see how
I know, they do. They look so different from just the different elements of the pieces. And we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead after the show, because I knew we wouldn't have and I'll grab those little tubes for me, Brandon, when you're done. Over in the on the website, on beadshop.com, if you click on this episode, it takes you to the Facebook page. I promised that last week's mixes that I did as a giveaway, the Lone Tree and the Rain Boots, that they would be listed. So they're on there. So they are on there as mixes, and you can see exactly what I put in them. And so you can make your own proportions of those, but those are here, okay? And then for these guys that I did here, I'll go ahead after I have lunch and clean this up. We've taken some real good notes on all these, so I will just write it up, a quick blog post, and link it there so you guys can see it. But it'll all be in episode notes as well. But I know a lot of you probably want to do a little bit of shopping today, so so hang tight and I'll have that up. Speaking of shopping, we, in honor of all of this seed bead mixing, because I am exhausted, I don't know about you guys, but today is the 3rd of April. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. So from today, our seed bead sale goes through tomorrow, 4/4. So if you make an order of any size, obviously any size, and you put seed bead 30, we are taking 30% off all of our seed beads that are in stock right now. So all of these guys that you have seen here, everything is 30% off. So you have plenty of time. So if you're like, Kate, I need that list, just cool your jets. I'll put that list up. I'll make a good substitution for this gold, for this 14 karat, the gold 8/0. I'll put that substitution in there, so don't worry, we got this. And we'll do, I'll take a nice just quick photo and I'll shoot it up there. So look for it in I don't know, it's about noon now. Look for it by about 1:30, okay? So that's it. I also really, if you're inspired right now and you're at home, or if you're at work, I'll just write you a note, whatever, just go home and mix something, right? It's Wednesday. If you mix it now, you can work on it over the weekend, because I really, really want to see what you've done. The necklace you're asking about, this is again seed bead 30, all one word, doesn't matter the case size. Someone was asking about my necklaces. We'll have them in the notes as well. I've worn this before. This was I was going to say my 40th birthday gift. No, it wasn't. It was my 50th birthday gift from Emily. She made me this really beautiful, long, amazing crocheted rope. This piece right here. I love it so much. So this is one from Emily. And then this piece, I think I showed it on a Free Tip Friday. I don't even remember when I did it. Let me go to Free Tip Friday. If you go on our website to beadshop.com and you click on right at the top bar, it says Facebook Live projects, retreat, staff picks, all the way over it says Free Tip Friday. All the Free Tip Fridays are there if you scroll and scroll and scroll. And I think, I don't know, I'm looking. What it is, oh, you know where it is? It also might be on our blog, I think. I should always look up what I'm wearing. You know, I just put it on. I don't think that you guys are actually want to see it. It also might be in the blog. I'll link it on the blog. Everybody cool your jets. I'll link it on the blog. But especially, it's really simple. It's our Janice's Born Yesterday. It's kind of Born Yesterday meets poetry. Same thing. It's the cranberry mix here along with the perfect pie here in the middle. And I think I used the gold regular seal-on as the piece, and I used the swirl button here. So, but I'll link it in the blog for you guys. It's super easy, really easy to make. And again, it's the poetry style. It's just macrame in between. So you guys have got this. All right. Well, troops are getting restless. It's time for lunch here at beadshop.com. I will see you Friday for more play with the kaleidoscope mix. I'm going to talk it through about how Allie made that amazing mix. We'll go over her splice again on Free Tip Friday. And I'm also going to show one of her other really incredible ones that she shared with us. It's in kind of the compadres style. It's her braided piece that she patterned after my Kate's favorite. So that's it. that's all I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed this crazy mix day. I did. It went by in a flash. So I'll get working on that post so you guys can see what I used. And lots of love to you guys. And I'll see you on Friday for Free Tip Friday. And next week, mark your calendars. We have a special guest, but I'm not telling you who it is. I'll tell you next week. All right. I'll tell you Friday. All right. Talk to you guys soon.